Hello everyone. We're going to begin in just a second as I enter the classroom and begin to set up the classroom for you. Hang on just a moment while I put a few finishing touches here. I had a little trouble signing in today, that's why I'm starting a bit late. Apologize for that. Now hopefully you'll all be able to see a PDF that I've uploaded, but I'm going to give you the link as well in just a second. Let me do that right now. Hang on just a second here. Okay, so we'll give that to you in the chat box. And the link I will post for you there, but it's the same link that I posted in the description of the class. So let me tell you a little bit about what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be talking about how to respond to questions when you're put on the spot. This is a slightly advanced class because we're going to revise question forms and we're going to look at the verb tense system as a whole in addition to learning important key expressions. We're going to try to tackle all those things at the same time. And the class will be divided into 4 15-minute sections, as I've done with the other skills classes that I've taught. So we're going to begin. Let me see if I can, as I'm speaking to you, let me see if I can open the PDF and go over it. And I'll share my screen with you in just a moment. Okay, so I think I've got some microphones turning on. Yes, here we go. I hear some people coming into class now. Hello there. Welcome. So, just to continue with what I was saying in the recorded part of the class, we're going to do this in 4 15-minute segments. When you download the PDF or you click on the link, well, let's do this together. Let's do a quick presentation and then I'll make sure it's clear how we're going to proceed with the class, okay? So, I'm going to do a quick round of introductions, very quick, just so I can begin to connect names and faces because a lot of you are coming back several times, so I'd like to know you for the next time. So, first of all, my name is Jon-Eric. I'm American from New York City. I've been living in Portugal for quite a while, and I teach here now. I've been teaching online for 3 years, and I have well over 10 years in the classroom. That's a little bit about me. I'd like to hear from each of you very briefly, what you do, where you're from, and then we'll get started. Maybe I could start with Abdallah. Can you hear me, Abdallah?
Yes.
How are you?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Fantastic.
I'm Abdullah from Egypt.
You're from Egypt. Okay, great. And are you working or studying these days, Abdallah?
I study.
Okay, fantastic. And let's hear from, I guess this is Esther Arribas. Is that you?
Yeah, I'm Esther. I'm from Spain, and now I'm living in Dublin.
Oh, you're in Dublin. Fantastic. Are you working there?
I try to find a job. No, now I'm studying English.
Oh, okay. I bet the weather is very different than Spain.
Yeah, the opposite.
Well, I'm in Portugal where it's usually sunny and warm, but compared to Dublin, it's very warm. I imagine it's pretty cold right now. Let's move on to Koji. Do you hear me, Koji?
Yes, can you hear me?
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm talking from São Paulo, Brazil, and it's a pleasure to be here. I work with IT, technology, managing projects. And actually, I'm in a transition phase of my life looking for a new job.
Ah, okay. Do you want to switch fields or just find a different company?
Oh, yes, find a different company, new projects.
Ah, okay. Well, I wish you the best of luck, and hopefully today's class will help out with that. Let's say hello to Mina Morad. Are you there, Mina? Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
There we go. Hello. How are you?
Hey, hey, this is my first class with you.
Hello. Nice to meet you. Am I saying your name right? Is it
Nice to
Mina,
meet
your
you
first name?
too. Exactly.
Fantastic. And where are you calling from?
I'm from Egypt too.
You're from Egypt. Okay. Okay, so we've got a lot of
Yes.
people. I'm gonna speed through the other introductions so we don't lose anyone. Sergio Silva, how are you? Make sure your microphone is on, Sergio. Oh, I don't hear you, Sergio. We're gonna have to come back. Make sure your microphone is on, and go to the top above the chat window. Make sure the microphone color on the icon is not red, because that would mean that it's off. So we'll come back to you in a moment. Finishing up, we have Yuval, and one more, then we have to get started. So Yuval, hi.
Hi John, how are you doing today?
Fantastic. And where are you calling from?
I'm from Israel and I'm currently working.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, and the last one we got to get started is Inga. Are you there, Inga?
Hi.
Hi.
Yes, I'm from Armenia.
From
I
Romania.
work at bank. Yes, and this topic is I hope will be very useful for me.
Okay, I hope so too. Okay, so we're going to have to do other introductions while the class is going on because we're not going to have time right now. We've got to get started. Once again, if you don't have it, the PDF for the class, I'm going to give it to you in just a second. Uh-oh. I'm locked out of the classroom. Give me a moment. Ah, there we go. Okay.
I will share it.
I'll share it as well. There we go. We both shared it. So if you need it, it's there. And the good thing about this, I try to create a PDF for each class that you can take home with you and review. So you've got the recording, and you've got notes at the end of each of these PDFs to help you remember some of the important points. Okay, so why don't you download that, take a look at it, and let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. Hang on a second. I haven't shared my screen before, so someone help me out. Where's the screen share?
On the left,
I haven't done this before.
On the
Look,
left column, look
left.
above the verbal in classes.
Okay, I got it. Got it. Okay.
Then choose which screen you want to share.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I think I want to do this one, and hopefully you can see the presentation on your side as well now. Okay. Can everyone see that? I've shared my screen, and you should see the first page, how to respond to questions. Does everyone see that, or do you see me on the camera? What do you see?
Your screen. We see the PDF file.
Fantastic. Okay. I just think it would be a little bit easier to do the class if you can see, if we can all look at the same thing at the same time. So for now, I'll keep it open. All right. Okay, so we're going to go through 4 stages with this. Let me go to the second page. Whoops. On the top, you'll see a little circle. That's our. Oop, sorry, someone's got to mute their mic if they're talking inside of the class because I just hear conversation. Okay, on the top right, you'll see a class clock which says learn, apply, speak, and reflect. So we're going to pass through all those 4 stages in the course of this lesson. The learning is going to be the shortest because we're running out of time, and I want to give you plenty of speaking time. Okay, so this is a mini unit on presentations and meetings, but you could apply this anywhere. You know what? A second. Okay, great. You can still see my screen. So let's go back to... Oh, I can't see your names now. Oh, great. So I'm going to have to get volunteers because I cannot see your names. You know what? This screen sharing thing is not going to work, I think, because I cannot see you anymore. So I'm going to have to turn that off. Okay, hold on a second. Let me just switch this off. Some technical problems. There we go. Okay, so let's go back to Abdullah. And could you read us the directions on the second page of the PDF, please?
Yes. One, when there are plans for large new building developments, example shopping center, office blocks, and your country, are there ever objections or protests? Why or why not?
By the way, e.g., can anyone think of another way to say that instead of actually saying the letters e.g.? What does it mean?
For example,
Example.
Yeah, so you could say, for example. More commonly, we say, for instance, if you're speaking. Just to let you know, you don't have to. We don't normally spell out the letters in those Latin abbreviations. So, e.g. would probably be more for example. Okay. Does anyone have some experience with this? If you have to do some sort of construction or something like that, is there a public meeting? Is it televised? Is it difficult to build? I'm here in Lisbon. Believe me, it's not easy to build anything. It's a very historic city. Anyone have an experience like this?
Yes.
Okay, tell us about it briefly.
In my city where I live, in the capital of Armenia, Yerevan, in the center, we had, I have to say, in the past, the park, and the government want to build some buildings there, and at that time all people protest that.
Not all people, but everybody.
Everybody, yes.
Everybody protested.
Protested.
By the way, we would probably say building complex. Building complex. Because it's a construction site that would go up, it'd be permanent, and that group of buildings, just to be more clear, would be a complex because it's part of a plan. They're not individual buildings or whatever. Yeah, I can relate to that. I'm from the States, and there's a lot of controversial building that happens, especially in regard to the environment, right? Like there's a big news story right now about the Keystone Pipeline. Has anyone heard of that? Have you been following the news in the States at all? Maybe it doesn't get out too much. Did anyone follow the news about the oil pipeline in the States?
That's the pipeline that's coming from Canada to US.
Yes, that's it. That's it.
I've heard about that. Yeah, they have environmental problems there.
They already have environmental problems, actually. Yes, and it would probably cause a lot more. So it's very controversial. I'm losing my feed with you, so again, I can't see the screen. Hopefully, you can see me. Tell me if you can't. You know what
Yes,
I'm going to
I
do? Okay, I'm going to close my PDF completely here, because otherwise I think we're just going to... Yeah, I can't see the screen at all, so I'm totally blind. But I've got two computers, so all is not lost. So could you just finish up? What's the controversy about the pipeline exactly? Do you know what they're protesting? Do you know what protests they've done? Have you actually seen the protests?
No, actually, I only have seen news maybe in the economic channel, and
Right.
it was not talking about environmental or this kind of protests. I've just heard about the pipeline. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So the idea is that some people, one of the protests they did was going inside of the pipe to show that that there were holes in it. So they just went inside. They went through one of the holes to say, hey, if people can fit in here, then I guess there could be environmental damage like things leaking and things like that. All right, so these are two really good examples of where the public would have to be addressed. One last question for you. How do the people who
use them. I won a lot of reservation.
Hi, hello.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
fantastic. You know what happened. They updated Firefox today, and therefore Flash is not working right. So I think that's the problem. I apologize, but I'm not going to touch the computer for the rest of the class. I'm going to use my second computer, and I think we'll be okay. I hope. Okay, so let's jump back into it now. On the second page of the PDF, we were looking at some controversial situations that happen when you're doing, say, construction. Okay, I'd like you to look at the choices that I put on the right side of the PDF, open to, let's say, politicians or people in a construction company, for example, that want to build. For example, we talked about the park in the. Inga was talking about the park in the center of the city, for example. So maybe I could have. Well, I've got a whole new set of people here. Maybe I could have. These are not the same people that I left with. Maybe I could have Koji read the second prompt there on the right and read through our choices. We're going to rank these in order that we think are the most or least likely for someone to use in that situation. So could you read part 2, please, on page 2?
The part 2, the number 2 you were saying, yeah? Many business leaders and politicians are very skillful at dealing with difficult questions. Put these techniques in order of how successful you consider them. Which techniques do you think are most used, and which least used?
And which are the least used? We don't have to say ed at the end. Which are the least used? So everyone, let's take a look at the list, and maybe I could have Hoger. Nice to meet you, Hoger. Could you read through our choices on the right side? That's the second page of the PDF, by the way. The PDF, do you have it? Can you hear me, Hoger? Okay, maybe not. So let's move on to Mateus. Can you hear me, Mateus?
Yes.
Hi, Mateus. Where are you calling from? Mateus, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Ah, yes, there we go. Hi, how are you?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
How are you?
Fantastic.
Can you hear me?
Where are you calling from, Mateus?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Hello, teacher.
So, Mateus? Okay, I think
Yes, speak.
Fantastic. Do you have the PDF?
PDF.
Look at the link that Inga posted on the right side, and please download the PDF for us to do the class. Okay? So let's go.
He lost. He lost.
My teacher, can I read it?
Maybe he left.
Sorry?
Mateus is not here in the list.
Yeah,
Mateus gone.
He disappeared. Hi, Mustafa. Can you hear me, Mustafa?
Yes, I hear you.
Hi, where are you calling from today?
I'm from Turkey.
Fantastic. Nice to meet you, Mustafa. So, if you have the PDF, let's take a look on page 2.
I have PDF, but that's my first lesson in here, and I don't know how to use WordLink.
Well, it's basically just a video chat. Okay, so do you have the PDF? If so, go to page 2. And I'd like you to just read through the choices on the right side. Do you see those on page 2 of the PDF?
I don't know where is it.
Okay. So the PDF is, look in the chat window. Inga was nice enough to post a link to the PDF. I'm sorry, I can't share my screen. Otherwise, I would have the PDF in front of you. But there's obviously a technical problem today. Okay, so let's go to let's go to someone who I know has the PDF. Let's go back to Inga. Could you quickly read through our choices? These are some strategies politicians might use. Could you just read through them on the right side, please?
Yes. Being truthful, rewarding the question, avoiding the question, asking questions back, giving a positive spin, using jargon, postponing the question.
Yeah. So in order to understand what these mean, we need to plug in real expressions. Okay? So I'd like everyone, I'm going to assign you, if I can, well, I'd like to get your ideas. How would a politician or someone in this situation begin, let's start with the second one, by rewording the question. So let's imagine a situation. Inga, what sorts of questions were people asking about the construction project in your city? What was the fear that they were protesting against?
We were protesting about that the government will kill the trees on the park, and
okay, so I'd like you to reword that as a question. Imagine I'm the politician and you're in a public meeting. How would you ask me about that issue?
I will just protest. I don't know.
Well, give it a shot.
Why don't you build your complex in another place?
Okay. Okay, good.
May I ask you one question?
Sure, go for it.
If you have people there living, where are you allocating these people after they are deallocated?
So that's your question to the politician?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, I thought you were asking me. I got very confused.
Okay.
Okay. So the first one is, why don't you build your complex somewhere else? Okay?
Yes.
Could you write your question for me? I didn't hear. Was that you, Koji, who was speaking?
If there are people living there, where are you allocating these people?
Where are you relocating these people to? Where are you relocating
these
people to? In English, the preposition has to come at the end of the sentence. In Portuguese, it would be para onde, right? But in English, the para is to, and it comes at the end. So where are you relocating these people to? Okay, those are good questions. What I want to do now is take one of those strategies and let's decide what key expressions we could use for any one of those strategies listed on the right side of page 2. So, how could we reword the question? Well, let's start with the obvious one, avoiding the question. Does anyone want to tackle a politician avoiding the question of for example, Koji's question was very direct, so we could use that first. Where are you relocating these people to? And you don't want to answer. So maybe we could hear from Inej, if you're there. Can you hear me, Inej?
Hello?
Hi, Inej. Where are you calling from today?
I'm from Cameroon.
You're from? Say again?
Cameroon, West Coast Africa.
Okay, fantastic. Nice to meet you. So Inej, if you're following along in the PDF that I gave you, which you can also see in the chat window, you can take the link there. We're on page 2. And the third strategy on the right side is avoiding the question. So, can you give me your opinion? How could a politician, what could a politician say, or a person in a company say, to avoid the question that Koji asked? Where are you relocating these people to? Because imagine they're going to build in the center of a city and there are people living there. You want to offer your thoughts? What's a good way to avoid that question? What might a politician say?
So that I can get very well vacation.
Okay, no problem. So let's get some ideas. It doesn't matter who. Anyone can offer ideas. What's some language you might use?
Next question.
Sorry, who is that?
Maybe he need to say next question.
Oh, I see. I got you. Okay. So, and who was speaking? I'm sorry. Was that Rod?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Nice to meet you, Rod. So, how could he say next question without being rude? That's the key here. What could he say?
The question: where are you relocating these people to?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Maybe he could say we are working on that. We are working on that, and that I think, and more stuff. I don't know.
Okay, that's excellent. I'm going to put that in the chat window. We're working on that issue. We're working on that issue.
Right. My retractors. No. That's it. We're working on that issue.
That's good enough for now. Yuval, would you add anything or say it differently if you wanted to avoid the question?
Usually the politician will say something like, I'm giving now good jobs to the people in your city.
Okay.
We'll give a lot of business to the people here, so you will have more money.
Okay, so that kind of fits in with the 1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth strategy, giving a positive spin to what might be a controversial situation. Okay, and the language used, perhaps we could say something like, where you're located, we're relocating these people to. So in your case, you're saying, maybe we may have to relocate. We may have to relocate some people. I shouldn't really type and speak because my computer's a little slow with the problem today. But, and then you can say what you are doing. Some expressions to give a positive spin. Any ideas about those? Some common ones you might have heard. On the other hand, but by contrast, these are just some of my suggestions.
We're going to create many jobs.
Yeah, fantastic, yeah. But by contrast, okay, and one more thing I could say here about we're going to create many jobs is that you could, to make it sound more objective, like a fact, you could use the passive voice. Many jobs will be created. And a politician might say that because it sounds like, because the subject is not in the sentence, it sounds like it's more of something that won't change, like a fact. Where if you say, I'm going to create it, well, maybe you won't be able to. Okay, so those are a few different strategies. We're going to look at more. But what I'd like to do now is read through a short presentation, and afterwards we're going to analyze the language, and we're going to have a similar presentation. So this is a public meeting where people are protesting, and we're going to use this to find and analyze language and use it in our own meeting at the end of the class. Okay, so go to page 3 of the PDF. Okay, and maybe I could have, maybe I can have some people that I haven't heard from today. So maybe I could start with, so is that Fano? I can't see your name very well. Fanfo or Fano?
Yeah, hi.
Hi. And where are you calling from today?
Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia. Okay.
Yes.
So maybe I could have you read the part of Jomo on page 3 of the PDF. Okay. And
okay, fine.
And maybe I could have Inej read the man and the woman that are going to interrupt her. Okay, just the first part, and then we'll switch. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm sorry. How do you say your name? Is it Fanfo? Is that right?
Fanfo, yes.
Fanfo. Nice to meet you.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. When you're ready, begin.
Okay, I'm ready. So I hope that you will agree that this retail and leisure park develop is nothing short of sensational and exactly what Kimberly needs. Right now, I'd be very happy to answer any questions you may have. Yes, at the back, the lady is blue.
The lady in blue.
In blue.
Meaning she's wearing a blue shirt or something. Okay, Inej?
Yeah. Do you live in Kimberley?
Sorry? We're on page 3, and it's woman 1 speaking in the dialogue.
Page 3.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No
I am
problem.
on page 4.
No problem. Go ahead.
Okay. Exactly. How many shops will there be?
Yes, thank you. I really wanted to clarify that. There will be space for 3 anchor stores.
3 anchor stores.
3 anchor stores. Well, known chains or department stores alongside 78 smaller outfits of various sizes. In the 3rd row, yes, you, sir.
You mentioned a food court. Will this just be fast food?
Fast food?
Fast food.
Well, I wish I could answer that right now, but actually I'm not sure. It depends very much on who chooses to rent the space. Sorry, okay. The lady in front row.
Okay, we're going to switch speakers now. Let's have Koji and Mustafa. Koji, you're going to read woman 2. And Mustafa, if you've got the PDF, you can read Jomo's part. Okay, so Kyojo, you're next. Koji, you're next.
You are building this wholly unnecessary center when what Kimberly really needs is affordable housing.
Okay, Mustafa?
Okay. Yes, thank you. Of course, I have to disagree with your calling this unnecessary. We firmly believe that this development is crucial to future of this town. Okay, the man in the middle with the blue jacket. Now, 2 seats to the left of you, sir.
Mustafa, you've got to slow down a little bit because we're losing some of your words only because you're reading too fast. Your pronunciation is great, but you've got to slow down just a touch. Like unnecessary. Slow it down. It will sound good to us. Okay, so we're back to Koji.
What exactly, Will? You haven't answered my question. Kimberly needs homes, not shops.
Well, as I tried to make clear earlier.
The only thing you think about is profit. Us residents are worth next to nothing in your eyes.
If you just let me finish, as I tried to make clear earlier, we do firmly believe that this is a positive development for the town.
Let me interrupt quickly. When you see do in a positive sentence, it's there to give emphasis. So you'd have to read it like this. We do firmly believe that this is a positive development. Try again, Mustafa.
We do firmly believe that this is a positive development for the town. It will help to raise the economic situation of the whole region, attracting in turn new jobs and new housing. Maybe I can return to this matter later on. Sir, you were going to ask?
Okay, and let's Koji, you stay, and we're going to add Yuval. So Koji, continue with Yuval. Koji, your question was?
What exactly will this cost local residents in terms of taxation?
Okay, Yuval, could you continue?
We don't accept there to be any significant cost to local residents, as most of this is financed from the government's regeneration grant for priority locations. If you're interested in looking into this, sir, we've put all the figures on the project website. Yes, let's hear from the young man putting his hand up over there on the aisle?
No, the aisle. The aisle. Okay, let's have Rod continue. So, can you hear me, Rod?
Yeah.
Hi, Rod. Could you continue as the people interrupting? You're man 3 now.
Do you live in Kimberly?
Hello, Yuval?
Can I continue?
Yuval?
Okay, where I am? I'm sorry, I'm lost.
Oh, sorry, you're underneath man 3.
Okay. Do you live in Kimberly?
That's what he asked you. Now you have to respond.
Sorry. Totally. Okay. Oh, very good question. No, I don't, but I'd certainly consider moving here once this development's been built, madam.
Okay, Rod? Rod, you're reading Woman 3?
You said it'll be a beautiful building. I think it's an eyesore.
You think it's an eyesore?
Eyesore.
Okay. And maybe we could go to who has not read. Has anyone not read? Maybe we can go back to Inej and Inga. So Inga, you're reading Jomo, and Inej, you're going to be interrupting. Okay, so go ahead, Inga.
Well, what exactly do you mean by eyesore?
Eyesore. Once again, eyesore.
Eyesore. I'd say it's nothing of the kind. This is a bold and dramatic building that will give character to the whole town center. The architect has been nothing if not adventurous, but you are entitled to your opinion. Of course, I firmly believe that future visitors will travel here just to see our extraordinary diamond tower. Now let's hear from one of the school children here on the left.
Is it true that you are installing solar panel to power the lighting?
Good, Inej.
Well, that's a good question, and yes, you are right to a degree, but perhaps the more important issue is...
Okay, and then our newscast ends at that point. So, what I'd like to know here is, if we go back to those strategies we looked at, can we take some of the language used in the dialogue and identify which strategy was being used? So what I'd like you to do is go back to the first page, look down that list on the right, page 2, look down that list, being truthful, rewording the question, avoiding the question, asking questions back to the questioner, giving a positive spin, using jargon, and finally postponing the question. I'd like you to take a moment and see if you can find one example of each in the dialogue. So I want you to look at that and skim through the dialogue. Okay? So when you're ready, please give us your suggestions, and I'll give you mine at the end. So, any ideas about, for example, avoiding or postponing, because those come to my mind right away? If not, you could also tell me what the person could say rather than what they did say, if you need to. That would
There
be
is
okay.
an answer here where I think he's postponing the correct answer. He asked here, you mentioned the man asked, you mentioned a food court. Will this just be fast food? And the guy responded, the guy answered, well, I wish I could answer that right now, but actually I'm not sure.
So that one would be what category, in your opinion?
Postponing.
I think it's the truth.
Because
I think it's being truthful.
Yeah, I think it's being truthful because if he was postponing, who was speaking? Was that Inga? I couldn't hear. Who said he was being truthful?
Me. Here.
Who's me?
Here.
Inga? Is that you?
Fanful.
Oh, Fanful, I'm sorry.
Yes.
If he was postponing, what might he say that he didn't say here?
He might say, I could answer that later on.
Exactly. He could say, let's get back to that later. I'm really not sure. So in this case, he's focusing on the truth. And in fact, it's the only time he does in the little news conference or whatever it is we're watching. It's the only time he does tell the truth. Okay. Does anyone have an example of actual postponing that he's doing? So keep skimming through the text, and I'll give you my ideas at the end. Any other ideas?
We are searching.
Okay. Well, basically, just focus on what Jomo is saying. So, for example, yes, thank you. I really wanted to clarify that. What tactic is he using there? I really wanted to clarify that because the woman is asking, how many shops will there be? You think
Rewarding the reward?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Why not? He's showing that it's an important question. In fact, he probably doesn't want to answer it. Okay, so yeah, we could say that. He's rewarding the question. What about this one? Well, I wish I could answer that right now. We already said that. Whoops, not that one, sorry. Okay. I have to disagree with your calling this unnecessary. We firmly believe that this development is crucial to the future of the town. So what do you think he's doing there?
He's giving a positive spin?
Yeah, he is, isn't he? He's trying to take something that is controversial and showing that it has value, right? So he's giving a positive spin. And how does he express it? What's the key expression that we should use? What's his key expression? Koji, what's his key expression?
By contrast, but on the other hand,
to show that he's putting a positive spin.
Yeah.
I would say, if you look at the text, we firmly believe. I would say it's really that we firmly believe. Because I don't see a contrast in that one. That one is on page 3 on the left side. Of course,
Okay.
I have to disagree with you. We firmly believe this is crucial. Well, notice the choice of words. It's crucial, right? It's not that it's important. It's crucial. It's as if the community can't live without it. So one thing is that it's his choice of words, and we firmly believe. Maybe those two are more. Are better examples of word choice, just as an idea.
The keywords that you should use when you are going to spin the conversation.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
We've got better examples, but that's one. How about this one? Later he says, if you just let me finish, as I tried to make clear earlier, we do firmly believe this is a positive development for the town. It will help to raise the economic situation. So he seems to be putting a positive spin there as well. And how does he handle the interruption? In other words, what language can we take from this?
If you would just let me finish as tried.
Yeah, if you just let me finish, right? So he's not being rude. If you would just let me finish, or if you wouldn't mind. Okay, so he's using polite language. Let's see if we can look at one or two other examples. I'm sorry, say again? I thought I heard someone speaking. Okay, and okay, one more thing. At the end, the woman accuses him of creating a building or putting up a building that's an eyesore. What's an eyesore? What does that mean? Anyone know?
No.
What does the word sore, S-O-R-E, mean? I have a sore. I have to go to the pharmacy or something if I have a sore.
Okay.
Any ideas? Something good or something bad?
Bad.
It's bad.
Something strange. Something weird.
A sore is just anything that hurts. It could be anything. You don't really know. But usually if you say a sore as a noun using a sore or the sore, it's something that's still open, like in your skin. If you have something open, maybe it's not bleeding, but it's not healed yet. So an eyesore is something that makes your eyes bleed, in quotes. Not really, but metaphorically. In other words, something beautiful?
No.
No. Something very, very what? If it's not beautiful, what could we call it?
Ugly.
An eyesore is something ugly. That's it. An eyesore is something ugly. Okay, so someone says something very direct and provocative to him, and his response is, well, what exactly do you mean by eyesore? I'd say it's nothing of the kind. This is a bold and dramatic building that will give character to the whole town center. And one more thing, the architect has been nothing if not adventurous. Okay, so what's the tactic there of those tactics on the first page? Tactic, strategy, same thing. What's the strategy being used?
Be truthful.
You think that's truthful, Koji? I don't agree.
No?
No, I don't. First of all, it's his opinion whether it's an eyesore or not. So that's the first point. But also the language doesn't really seem like language of truth, of conviction to me. It seems like he's making excuses. So, but again, this is just my opinion, but I don't think that's the... I wouldn't choose that strategy. Other ideas? Other ideas for this? Hello?
You want to make sure.
Go ahead, Inesh.
Yeah, you want to make sure that that thing he wants, they have to do correctly.
Mm-hmm. So, do you think that he's being truthful, rewarding the question, avoiding the question, questioning back, giving a positive spin, using jargon, postponing the question? Which do you think is the best category there?
I don't really know.
You are asking for the whole text or for a question in specific?
Only that last question that we looked at just now. Just the last question about the eyesore. In other words, throughout the text, he's using different strategies with different people.
Yeah.
Right? So which of those strategies do you think fits his answer to the eyesore issue?
Asking questions back.
Okay. What's the question that he asks back? Maybe you're right. What's the question that he asks? Hello? Uh-oh. You're right. He does ask a question. Let's just clarify. It's on page 4.
You're right. He does ask a question.
Oh, now I'm hearing my voice. Oops. Make sure you're wearing headphones.
Oh, now I'm hearing my voice.
Ooh. Sorry. There we go. So,
where exactly is this question? Who asked that? Woman 2, man 1?
Woman 3, which
Woman
is on
3.
page...
okay.
page,
You said it will be a beautiful building. I think it's an eyesore.
That's
well,
right, yeah.
What exactly do you mean by eyesore? I'd say it's nothing of the kind. This is a bold and dramatic building that will give character to the whole town center. The architect has been nothing, if not adventurous. But you are entitled to your opinion. Of course, I firmly believe that future visitors will travel here just to see our extraordinary diamond tower. Now let's hear from one of the school children here on the left. Yeah, he's been a little bit, how can I say, using power, yes, to the woman.
That's
shut
it.
his
Yeah,
mouth about this question. Yeah, yes. It's not fair.
And he can, because he's the one who's giving the talk, so he can do that if he wants. All right, so what I'd like you to do, we're not going to have time in the class to do this, but you can, what I think I'm going to do with this class, because we had some technical problems, is run the class again and finish it in a second session where we actually get to have a full speaking activity. So what I'd like you to do, I'll try to post that class. I don't know if there'll be space tomorrow, but I'm going to try to follow it up if I can tomorrow or the day after. And I'd like to invite you all to come back, and we finish the class by having a meeting of our own. Now, what you need to do as a homework assignment is reread the dialogue, and you should try to categorize the language, the key expressions, using those initial strategies. See if you can find one or more key expressions. So, and there's a second homework here, if you want to try. Throughout the dialogue, you'll notice that he keeps using expressions with the word nothing. Maybe I can find one quick example. In the last text we read, the last part of the text we just read, he says, the architect is nothing if not adventurous, right? So what would be a really good idea is for you to go through the text and try to find 4 or more examples of the word nothing used in a different way, and try to figure out, well, first, what the expression is with nothing, and second, how is it being used. I think in total you'll find that there are, if I remember, 6 different uses of that expression. Okay, so let's we're going to have to stop at this point. Oh, and by the way, to help you with that homework, you'll notice on the last page of the PDF, I put a set of examples for you. You could use those examples on page 9 of the PDF to help you find other examples used in the actual dialogue. And then we can clarify them. We can clarify what the rules are, so to speak, when we come back. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to stop at this point because it's already after 8. But as soon as I can, hopefully tomorrow, I'm going to post a follow-up to this class. We're going to take the language we used in the dialogue, and we're going to have a full speaking class where we get to present ideas and take turns using strategies to handle different questions. Difficult questions, I should say. Okay? So, I apologize sincerely for the problems at the beginning of the class. I think it's because of Flash. I was told that Microsoft updates Windows every Wednesday, and therefore any software you use will update some point in Wednesday. So maybe that's what happened. I don't know. However, don't worry, because we're going to repeat this class tomorrow. We're going to start after the dialogue, and we're going to have at least a 30-minute speaking activity. So I want you, hopefully, to come back. If you can follow me, you'll see when I post the class, and we can pick it up from there. Okay? So take the PDF, think about those 2 homeworks, and come ready in the next class to use the expressions that you learned. So, thank you for coming out, everyone. It was a pleasure meeting you, and I hope to see you really soon.
Me too. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye for now. If there's any questions, I'll stick around for a few minutes and you can ask me. Fanfo, did you have a question? Because I see you're still around.